Let's talk about going dark. You know, that stage where most of them end up. I'm going to do that by drawing the basic process. First step in the basic process, have a conversation with a customer. Second part in that process, following the conversation, let's do a discovery call, a deeper dive with you and others on the call. Sometimes the discovery call includes a demo. Not only are you want to learn from the customer, but customers today also want to see what you have to offer. So they want to really see how it works. Following the discovery call, we generally go into a form of a proposal where we make some recommendations. And following that recommendation, we go to a stage we call commit, where both parties commit to moving forward. Now, out of this, there's a few stages that go in and say like, oh my gosh, it doesn't work out. For example, out of the conversation, we may disqualify. We're not a fit. Out of the discovery call, we may come to a conclusion. We're not a fit, disqualify. Same thing may happen down here. After the commit, we may lose the deal. We are not moving forward. At the same time, we obviously hope that following the commit, you know what, it does work out and we have a mutual moving forward program. We start the onboarding process. Now, in between here, the most common stage of all is the go dark mode. And what I mean with go dark is that after we've given them information, we believe that the initiative is with them to come back to us, we don't hear from them. The most common 3 stages where this occurs is after the discovery call demo, the proposal, or when we are waiting for the commit. Now, going dark has different meanings based on time frame. So for example, after the discovery call, not hearing from them for 1, 2, 3 weeks, maybe it's going dark. When they have a proposal, it may be measured in hours. So go dark has a different kind of sensitivity. Discovery call days, commit time frame hours. But going dark, that is a key thing. Now what we do, how do we pull a customer out of going dark mode? The key is it comes from preparation. Now what you need to do in order to avoid that the customer goes dark, in the preparation, you need to find out what is their event of sorts that they're buying against. What is the reason why the client is buying? The event. Now, an event can be time-driven. Oh, by March 1st, we're hiring 10 people. Or it can be a form of a metric driven when we hit 1 million views. Or it can be driven by a product release when on August 1st, when we are launching the new game. These are all things that you need to know out of the discovery call and out of the conversation. That will help you to pull the customer out of go dark. Because your opening sentence cannot, and I cannot repeat this enough, it cannot be a check-in call. Let me check in, okay? We are not doing check-in calls. What we can check is asking, what we can go for is asking the client, Mike, are we still on track to hiring the people that you set forth? Jennifer, is the release of the product still scheduled for this date? That is the sentence that you're going to use out of pulling a customer out of go dark. Mention the event that was important to them, not to you. This is super important right into this mode down here where we have submitted the proposal. Our tendency after the proposal is submitted and we're waiting for the commit to tell the client, Mike, I was expecting the purchase order yesterday. That is not a good way to open a conversation. The right way to open a conversation is, Mike, are we still on track to hit X, Y, Z? That is being prepared for an event. And with that, you see the sales process. The best way to tackle the going dark is by making sure you get the information for them during the preparation. Now, there's an alternative technique that I really, really like, and that is when we set a trigger on an account. Now what we send during the discovery call and during the conversation, we try to find out what is the customer triggered by it. So for example, I said earlier, if the event is hiring. Now, if I put a trigger on the hiring profile, then if a customer goes dark, I can come back and say like, Mike, I noticed that you opened 3 new recs on LinkedIn. Now I use the trigger as the event to pull a customer going back out of go dark mode. And that means I gotta know where to set the triggers. Those triggers, also known as trigger-based selling, need to be set, can be either a Google trigger, a Google alert, it can be something in LinkedIn, but those triggers can also help you one other way to pull a customer out of go dark mode. And with that, there you see a basic process, Forms of disqualification, losing the deal, and going dark. But do not, and I repeat, do not write an email just checking in on you, because most people will not like that.